It's nice to be back in America. Like what you've done with the place. Seems to be going well. You're all tense. It's fine. I still get tense about my country. I'm from Scotland. I like explaining Scotland to some Americans. I'm like, I'm from Scotland. Oh, so you're English. The opposite of what you just said. Stupid Canadians. Scotland has been a bit, not necessarily rough, but obviously you know us from one movie. Don't say Trainspotting. The other one, Braveheart. Remember that whole movie where we chanted about how awesome we thought freedom was? Freedom, freedom. And then we had a vote on freedom and we were like, I don't like it anymore. I preferred it when Mel said it. I'm trying to be more politically engaged. The news confuses me. Not only does the news confuse me, people who watch the news confuse me. They talk in riddles. All my friends are like, Daniel, don't watch the news. The news is lying to you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Who told you that? The other news. This is already more complicated than House of Cards. I think the news gives too much information, and I'm very aware that that sounds like something an idiot would say, but welcome to my comedy. Like, it's very, very confusing. Don't even get scared by the news. I get jealous of people that get scared. Because if you get scared by the news, that means you understand what's going on. President says something, you're like, oh no. I'm like, what did he say? I watch the news like I've just joined in on season 7 of Game of Thrones. Just there on the couch with my friends being like, who's this guy? Is he a bad guy? Oh, we don't know. Cool, cool. What about her? Is she a bitch? She looks like what I thought, so I called it. So they like kill each other and stuff? They have sex? No, they don't. No, they don't. Who's he having sex with? Putin? No way. It's like, very tense, nice. It's like I like watching the news over here in America. It's insane. I feel there's too much information on the news sometimes. Right? I was watching last time I was over here. A man had murdered 2 people in a park, right, with a gun. It's important to point that out. It's the difference between my country and yours. We have violence in the UK. It's just a bit more stabby. And obviously stabbing's bad, but for me, I prefer it. It's a bit more honest. Right? I could be killed from across the street with a gun, right? Never have any idea who did it. But if I get stabbed, like, I'm willing to take up to 40% of the blame for that. Like, some of that is on me. Like, you wanted to stab me more than I didn't want to be stabbed at some point. Like, you got better cardio, you were hiding in a tree, you've earned the wallet. Take it. And it's not a critique, it's the differences. I like pointing out the differences. And I'm very aware that sometimes the differences make me sound like the idiot, right? Try to explain to my American friends, we don't have guns in the UK. They're like, really? No guns? I'm like, no, of course not. They're like, what about your police officers? I'm like, of course our police officers don't have guns. Oh yeah, what do they have? Oh, you know, sticks. How do the sticks work? Well, if you're being a dick, the police will go, aye! Stop being a dick! And 90% of the time, that is enough to make a British person go, oh, terribly sorry, I do apologise, I was. The other 10% of the time, if the dick stick is not enough to deter you from your general dickery, I definitely went over my budget on the word dick there. Right, that's when police officers in Britain will get serious. They'll go into their inside pocket, bring out a pen. Oh, now you're screwed. Oh, our police officers might not take your life, but they will take your name. And give it to your mum, and that's worse than death in my experience. I grew up in a place called Fife in Scotland, right? Quite violent Fife. My favourite statistic about Fife is that you are not more likely to be stabbed in Fife than anywhere else in the world. But if you are stabbed in Fife, you're more likely to be stabbed repeatedly. Because when we commit a crime, we commit to that crime. So this man, he'd murdered 2 people in a park, right? I think we can all agree, by and large, dick move. Thoroughly not cool, Stephen, real not cool. He went to prison for 15 years. That's the whole story. That's the whole story. I gave you the entire story there in less than 5 seconds. 45 minutes. I watched this newscaster give irrelevant information about the murderer that didn't affect the story. The man who murdered the 2 people was described by his neighbors as a marijuana-smoking porn hoarder. Don't make me like him. Like, those are very mixed signals. You started off by saying he was a dick. Now he sounds cool.